start getting an understanding of division, or the opposite to division. What is the opposite to division, Abner? What's the opposite?
Multiply.
Yeah, so there is quite a close connection between those two, and we'll see how that works in a moment. So here we've got D, M, S, B, and the symbols they represent division, multiplication, subtraction, and bring down. But you can also try and remember this is with your family members. Who thinks they might know what Mr. Blair's referring to? Obeyed. Yeah, what do you think? What's D stand for?
Dad.
M.
Mom.
S.
Sister.
B.
Brother.
Brother. So think of it as your family members. Dad, mum, sister, brother. And you'll keep repeating that. So if you've written this down somewhere, that's what we're going to try and follow that same process. Over here I have an example of what we've done here. And we've got 72, could be 72 pieces of candy, and you have to share them between 4 people. And we worked out that it was 18. It was an even number that we could share between all. Sometimes you might have bits left over, which means you might have a remainder. The next stage after you've done the remainder, can you turn that into a decimal? But we'll get there after we've got the basics first. So the first one here is number I have 528. And I'm going to share or divide it by how many? 528 divided by how many, Misk?
3.
3, yeah. So the first thing I really want to do, and there's different ways you can do this. You'll have different teachers teaching you different styles. This is sort of like the old way, but it's a way that if you know your times tables, it'll become quite easy. So this is long division. So the first thing is I'm really going to cover up these last 2 digits. That 5, what's the place value of that 5? Which, if I put the ones, the tens, hundreds, what would be the place value of that 5? Fatima?
Hundreds.
Hundreds, yeah, so we're talking hundreds. In this particular lesson, I'm just going to focus on 1 digit at a time. So at this stage, if I cover up those, I'm going to try and 2 different ways people say this. How many times can 3 fit into, into 5? Or they may say 5 divided by 3. Okay? Now you want to get as close to 5 as possible without going over it. So this is where you know your 3 times table comes in handy. So Miss, how many times can 3 fit into 5 or 5 divided by 3?
1 time.
1 time. So over here I've got my D, follow the steps. 3 can fit into 5 times once. My next step, M for mum, multiplication. I then do 1 times 3, which we know would be 3. I've done the multiplication. What do you think my next step might be according to this? Shama?
Subtraction.
Yep, and what would my answer be here, Shama? 5 taken by 3 would leave
2.
Okay, so again, you don't have to tick these, but I'm just showing you this is what the steps involve. Next thing, what would I do? Akmetabu Nasa. I've done divide, multiply, subtract. What would a B stand for?
You will get the 8 or the 2 down.
So I'm bringing, yeah, we're going to bring something down, and the 2, one next to it, I'm going to bring the 2 down. So now, this says a total of how many, Miss, how many does this say?
22.
22, yeah, but that's fine if you need some water. So I'm going to bring down, so I brought that down. I now go back to the start, which is division. So Layla, what would be my next?
You need to count how many times 3 can go into 22, which
Yeah.
is, I think 7 or 8 times.
Let's see what happens if I do 8. Let's try it. 8. We're not sure. So 8. So I've done division. 3 can finish at 22 times. We're not sure. 8. What's 8 times 3? Anyone know? Obeyed.
24.
24.
I think.
So it's too big, isn't it? So it's not much bigger. So what do you think we might do instead of having 8 here? Shama's showing. What do you think, Shama?
We're gonna put a 7 instead of the 8.
Yeah, so I'll just change that. There's nothing wrong with doing this. So you realise 7 times 3. What would be 7 times 3? Nada.
21.
21. All right, so I've done my multiplying. Next step. Ooh, Layla.
You need to minus them, and then it equals 1.
1. So I've done subtraction. Next step. Amna, what do I do next? Order a pizza? Yeah, let's order a pizza. That's a good step. But we haven't got it in here, so we can't order the pizza just yet. So I've done division, multiplication, subtraction. B stands for banana.
Bring the number down.
Yes. And I'm going to bring down the 8. I've done that. Now, the next step. Can you see this 8 down there, or is it? Can you see it? All right. All right. Next step, what do you think I might do? Salman, what do you think I'm going to do next? Oh, Salman's in a deep conversation. Miss.
You divide
Yeah, and what do I divide?
18 and 3.
Yeah. So do I say how many times 18 can fit into 3? Or how many times 3 can fit into 18? Which way would I do it, Miss?
How much times can 3 fit into 18?
Yeah. How many times can 3 fit into 18? Or you could say 18 divided by 3. And who knows their 3 times table who would give me this answer? So we've done division, we're dividing. No.
6.
6. So we've multiplied. 6 times 3 is how many, Nada?
18.
18. Then I subtract. 18 minus 18 leaves a page.
0, and I got another thing for like the family rather than the family. So D stands for Dracula, I have to divide, and M stands for monster. You got to multiply when you see the monster, and then the snake you have he takes off points from you, and the B is for the banana, it falls down from the tree.
So I like the way he's got his own style to try and remember the steps. Very clever thinking. Nothing wrong with that. You're thinking of outside the isosceles triangle again. It is awesome work. So my answer is 176. There's no remainder. There's no leftover. So there's no decimal. So those are the steps. Did everyone copy that down or have it? Yep. All right. Next step. I'll try a couple. I'll leave this example over here just so you can refer back to it if you can see it. Let's get rid of this one. I guess the main thing is, as long as you've got this set up, you can follow those steps. And we're going to use a single digit over here to divide whatever's in here. Who would like to give me a single digit that we might want to use? Let's go with Gemma. What do you think?
5.
5. 5, and let's. How old are you, Shook?
11.
11. How old do you think Mr. Blair is?
56.
56. Oh my God. 56. All right. So we have 1,156. If you think you know the steps, have a go. Hands up if you want Mr. Blair to do it with you. Look, okay. Okay, to those people who are ready to move on, have a go. Those people who want us to work with Mr. Blair and work together, we'll do this now. So, my best advice is remember we're just sort of focusing on one digit at the start, but I noticed that we've got a bit of a problem when we start this. So I'm going to cover up those last 3 digits. I'll get rid of these ones too. Use this. All right, I'm covering up these 3 digits. Who thinks Mr. Blair's got a problem? Because can I fit 5 into 1 or not? Miss, can I fit 5 into 1? Sorry, darling, what was that? No. Any idea what I'd do now? I can't fit it in. Layla.
You have to look at the next number, which is like, you have to check how many times 5 can go into 11,
So
which is 2.
we were covering that up at the start, but we can just move down one. So now I'm really looking at 11, not the 5 and 6 here. So to keep sure I'm in the place value, I can put 5 cannot be fit into 1 or 1. Basically, I'm putting 0 up here. You don't have to have that 0 there, but you can do. Now the next thing is 5 into 11, and Shanna, how many times?
2 times remains
2 times. So we've done division, and we multiply 2 times 5. Shanna is?
Can you repeat?
Yep, sure. So 2 times 5 would be
10.
10. So done the multiply. What's my next step, Abaid?
We minus.
And what do we end up with?
We'll end up with 1.
And then what do I do next?
Then bring the 5 down.
I'm going to bring the 5 down, which makes 15. All right, Salman, what would I do next?
Then I will multiply the 2 with 5.
Oh, so we've done that's it. We've done 2 times 5 is 10. So we're up to the next one. So we've got 15 and 5. What do you think we might do with that? Those 2 numbers. So D, what does D stand for, Salman?
Divide.
Yep. So I'm going to divide 15 by 5. How many would that be? Sure.
3. 3.
3?
No,
Not 3? 2?
no. I know the answer. Did I say the answer? You put the 3,
Yeah.
then I tell, then.
Talk me through it. You explain. Continue the whole way. Go.
So then you do wait, how did I do it again?
We've done division. What comes after division?
But multiplication.
And what do I multiply?
So you do 3 divided by 5, which gives us, wait, 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15.
Done the
Then you
multiply? Yeah.
subtract them, gives you 0.
And
Then you put 6 down.
And then?
Then you do it. You divide it, and you divide 6 with 5, which gives you 1. Wait, yeah, 1.
And then?
Then you put this, and then remainder.
Hang on, so I've done division. 5 can fit into 6 once, and then I go to n, which means what?
You need to multiply 1. Wait. 1 with 5.
And it gives me 5, yeah. And then?
You multiply 6 with 5, which gives you 30. No, wait.
So
You subtract it.
Which leaves?
You subtract 6 with 5, which gives you 1.
1, and there's nothing else to bring down.
Yep.
So you could put R 1, remainder 1. We could do that, which is correct. But if you want to go to the next level, where we do decimals instead of having a remainder, so this is the correct answer: 231 remainder 1. But if we wanted to go to the next level, I'm just going to have to rub this one out here, guys. Sorry, just give myself a bit of room. I'm sure you've written this down. Just going to go back a step, get rid of the remainder. Does anyone think they might know what we would do if we were wanting to put a decimal place in there? Oh, Abe, yeah, what do you think?
We know already that 2 times 5 is 10, which equals like, and we know that if we times that, like, we divide that by 10, it will equal 1. So we're gonna divide also 2 by 10, which gives us 0.2, and then we add 0.2 to the number, and it will be 231 and 2/10.
You're correct. I'll just go back a step because you're right, Arabelle. So what he's done, he's realised he's got 1 left over here. Can 5 fit into 1? If I'm doing division again, can 5 fit it? No. So what do I do now? I put a decimal point. Okay. Put a decimal point because I'm now going to have some bits left over. And because I put a decimal point there, I'm now going to add a 0 to 1. So just make sure you can see this. I'm going to add, I'll put a different colour so you can recognise it. Make it blue. It now says 10. How many times can 5 fit into 10? Shema?
2 times.
2. So I've done the division, and then I can just go through the steps. 2 times 5 is, Shema, how much?
10.
10. 10 take away 10, Shema.
10 take away 2.
Sorry, 10 take away 10.
0.
0. So put a 0, nothing to bring down. So if you've got a calculator there, you could check your answer by pressing 1,156 divided by 5, and you'll end up with 231.2, or as a baby said, 231 and 2/10. Has anyone got a calculator there? Yep, that's the one. Now, And the opposite to division, you could do 231.2 times 5 will give you this. Now, the other one we actually had before was we had 231 remainder. You got it? Yep.
We cannot see the top.
Oh, you can't see the top. Sorry, I'll keep moving this around. Is that better? So originally we had 231 remainder 1. On your calculator, it won't come up with an R, it will come up with a decimal. So that's why Mr. Blair's teaching you this, so when you do go to grade 7, look, you're still right with the remainder, but the next step is with the decimal point. Okay, just looking at that time, so I'll give you one more to have a go and just see if you can do this in the next. Oh no, Mr. Ross comes in at 20 past, doesn't he? So we've still got time. I'll give you a couple more to do. Layla, how old's Dad?
43.
43. Dad's 43. Okay, we're going to use him. I will just delete this whole thing. All right. Oh, invisible. 43. And who shall we use? Abaid. Yes, Abaid? Give me 2 digits.
Can one of the problems be in decimal?
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
So, give me a number. How old's something? Anything?
90, 100. I mean 99.
99. All right. Now let's choose someone else to give us a number over here, which we're going to divide this. Misk.
2.
2. Oh, tricky, eh? Tricky. All right, we'll give you 2. Remember, go through those same steps, and there will be a remainder in this one. So whether you try it as a remainder or try the decimal approach, give this a go. Remember that you've got your divide, multiplication, subtraction, bring down. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Who's going to get this correct? Salman's going, you know, I can just mentally do this. That's why I don't need to write this down, Mr. Blair. Really? Oh. Oh, he pulled out his maths book. And look, Mr. Blair, I have my maths book. I'm writing this down right now. Good work there, Salman. He picks up on Mr. Blair's clues. Like a detective. Detective Salman. So remember, here's the tip at the start. Cover up those 3 digits. Follow that same process. I'm sure you would have copied these examples down as we did them. Hands up if you just need a little bit of help to do it again. Fatima does, yeah, thank you. 1 brave person, 2 brave people. Oh, good, thank you, Salman and Fatima. Okay, and Nada. All right, so first step. What will I do first, Fatima, do you think?
Division.
Yep, and what am I dividing?
Like seeing how many times 2 can get into 4.
Excellent, how many?
2.
2. So done division, next step.
Multiplication.
And what do I multiply?
The 2.
Yep, 2 times 2 is?
4.
Put that straight underneath, and then I've done the multiply. What's the next step?
Subtract.
So 4 take away 4 leaves.
0.
I've done subtract, and the B stands for?
Bring 3 down.
Brilliant. So now, I've got a total of 3. So now I go back to the start, the same steps. What do you think I would now do, Fatima? Sorry.
Divide 3 with 2.
Okay. And how many times can 2 fit into 3?
1.
Once. Because you know 2 times 2 is clearly 4, so it only goes once. Next step.
Multiplication.
And what do I multiply?
The 9.
Not the 9. What you've just pretty much put up there.
The 1.
Yeah, 1 times, we always come back over this way. 1 times 2 is
2.
2. And next step.
Subtract.
Yep, which leaves
1.
Next step.
Bring the 9 down.
Okay, so I've now got 19. What's the next step?
Divide 19 with 2.
And that gives me it's like knowing your times tables. Yeah, this is where it comes in really handy. Because what is 2 times 10, Fatima?
20.
20. So it's 22 big. You want it to be as close to this without going over. And you've realized 9. Okay, so we've done division. What's the next step, Fatima? We've done division.
Multiplication.
And what do we multiply?
9 with 2.
Perfect. 9 times 2 is
18.
Perfect. Next step.
Subtract 19 with 18.
That leaves
1.
Next step.
Bring the other 9 down.
Oh, this looks familiar. 19 again. What do you think we'll do now?
Divide 19 with 2.
That gives us
90. 8.
Hey, let's have a look. Okay, we've done division. So now we what?
Multiplication.
Okay, so what do we multiply?
8 times 2
is
16.
And then?
We subtract it.
Okay, so 19 take away 16 leaves?
3.
I think I've noticed something. We've got 3 left over. Has anyone picked up on something? Layla, what have you noticed? You got the right steps there, Fatima?
The 16 is supposed to be an 18.
So, because 8 times 2 is 16. So 2 times 1, 2 times 8, 16, 2 times 9, 18, 2 times 10, 20. So we know 20 is too big. We can't use the 10. 2 times 8 fits into 18. But 2 times 9 fits into 18. Or 19 more clearly. So 2 times 8 is too low. We could have actually had another one. So this one should be 9. So we go back a step. Which brings that to a 9. 9 times 2 is, Fatima, what's 9 times 2?
18.
18, so let's change that to 18. Which means 19 take away 18 leaves.
1.
1. Nothing to bring down, so that means my remainder would be 1. Or, did anyone want to have a go at the decimal one? All right, let's try it. Layla, what do I do now if I just back here? Got 1 left over, what would I do?
It's
What's your restaurant?
2,199.110. And 110.
Hey, how did... No, good try. So it's not wrong. You're on the right path. Miss, so can 2 fit into 1? No? So I put a decimal point there. What do I add to 1 down the bottom? This digit I add to 1. Anyone know? Obeyed?
We can divide. We know that half of 1 is 0.5, so the answer is gonna be 2,000. 2,199 2,199 and 5/10.
Yep, but how did you get that? What do I add to the 1 down the bottom? Because 2 can't fit into 1. That's what I'm looking for. The 0, 2 divided by 10.
We see that it's gonna be the answer 5, and then we divide 5 by 10.
Brilliant.
2.5.
Thank you, Obeyed. Thanks, guys. I realise Mr. Ross has rocked up. He's ready for some PE. I will hold it there, and you can always look back at this